Blog Talk Radio.
Hi, it's Margo. This is Sunday, October the 2nd, 2016, and I'm here on Blog Talk Radio, and the call-in number, if anyone is listening and wants to call in and ask questions, the number is 845-262-0773, and we're talking about Ascension, timeline shifts, and consciousness. And I'm going to be reading you the last entry from my book that's on Amazon. It's called Channeled Messages on Ascension, Timeline Shifts, and Consciousness. And these are messages that I received from my inner teacher, Brother Juan, in 2008 and 2009, and also messages from the Soul of the Earth, and I call her the Great One. And they were about what to expect as things are speeding up as far as body changes, mental changes, thought process, what to expect with the global situation, opening of portals, end times, timeline shifts, all these different things are all being affected. Our 3D reality is being affected as things are shifting and moving more and more quickly all the time. So last time I was on, and this is part 11. Now I'm gonna keep coming on the air talking about Ascension and other things as well. But this is part 11 of the series of actually reading you the book on the air. And so this is the last entry in the book, and it was it came in during a session this year when I was working with a client, and I think it came in May of this year. Yeah, May the 13th is when I wrote this, and it's also up on my website. My website is margoshealingcorner.com. I'm a hypnotist, holistic life coach, and spiritual healer. Right now I'm working a lot with removing implants from people, getting them unstuck and unblocked emotionally and spiritually, and getting them reconnected with their divine connection to God. And I work directly with God and Jesus and the angels and people's star family if it's appropriate. So that's kind of how I work. It's pretty non-traditional, and anyway, it's very effective, though. It's very effective. All right. And I also have a YouTube channel, and just look me up on YouTube, Margo's Healing Corner. And I've got a lot of instructional videos there. I have interviews from other shows that I've been on, and interviews that I've done with other people, with me hosting, that I put up there too. So I think you'll find it interesting if you're looking into any of these areas. And it's part of becoming awake, taking the blinders off, letting go of old belief systems, old things that don't work for you, and seeing the truth, all about seeing the truth and how to deal with it in a sober manner and going forward in our spiritual journey here. So this last entry I'm going to read to you is actually an experience that I had when I was working with a client. And when I work with someone, I go into a visionary state, and after I remove their implants, I go, and when I'm doing the interdimensional healing is when I see onto these other levels and see what's going on in other realms. And a lot of times I get a lot of information and understanding that I would not have gotten otherwise, not just about the person, but about reality in general. And this was one of those times. And so I wrote all about it, and so I'm going to read you this, and it fits right in with Ascension because it's talking all about Ascension and how it's happening and going to happen. And then we'll discuss it after I get done reading it. Okay, and this article is called, Is Earth Ascending? A New Perspective on Heaven and Hell. As I delve deeper into this work, my own experiences become more and more amazing, especially when removing implants from people and viewing into the other dimensions to heal and align their other dimensional bodies. I was recently working with a client, and I had one of those experiences. I'd removed their implants and giving them the shielding technique. Then, while viewing the other dimensions for attacks on those bodies, I saw some amazing things on 4D and 5D. I also received clarification regarding Earth's ascension and heaven and hell. I always start this part of the session by viewing on the highest dimension that I'm guided to and then work my way down to 1D. In this particular session, when I came to 5D, I saw the Arcturians there. I know the Arcturians are from higher than the fifth dimension, but they can manifest on any dimension. They basically go where they are needed. I saw them monitoring the fifth dimension, which I also realized is the Christian heaven. They are protecting it and keeping it ready for the Great One, what I call the soul of the earth. They will be overseeing the birth of our planet into 5D and monitoring which souls will come along. I've also received information in the past that as the earth moves forward, there will come a point when the timelines will split. One timeline will involve the earth moving into 5D along with the highest spiritual or awakened souls. In that timeline, it will be like what is described in the Bible as the new earth and 1,000 years of peace. The dark masters and rulers will not be able to go to that world. In the other timeline, there will be a dead planet as the soul of the earth will have left. The dark rulers will continue to reign with their technology and artificial intelligence. In this realm, the humans who do not move into 5D will be enslaved by the transhumanist movement and will become robots themselves. This will be a pocket dimension from which no one will be able to escape, and it will eventually self-destruct. When I viewed 4D, I saw much darkness, demons, earthbound spirits, black Nazi UFOs, technology, control panels, chaos, and what I would describe as hell. The message I received at this point was that the earth is ascending, but it cannot jump directly from 3D to 5D. In order to get to 5D, it has to go through 4D. I then thought of the Mayan calendar and about the last age ending in 2012, at which point the Earth would move to a new reality. I believe the Ascension did start then, but instead of moving immediately into the better reality, it started moving into 4D. CERN came fully online in 2009. I also believe it is playing a big part in opening up dark portals and allowing the demonic entities into this world. The world has been witnessing an ever-increasing evil in every aspect. Every form of life on the planet is under assault. It has only been getting worse. I believe it is because we are actually moving deeper into 4D. In 4D, the darkness rules. We are in Satan's domain. The rules have changed. Human rights are becoming non-existent. Blood sacrifices and dark rituals are coming out in the open. Satanism and pedophilia is being openly displayed. With genetic modification, the sacredness of God's creation is being destroyed and perverted. I now understand this is all part of this dark fourth dimension. I also understand that as we pass through this realm, we must be the most discerning and wise. We must not be lured off our spiritual path. The spiritual path and our divine connection is the only thing we should be concerned with. I've never been a Bible-thumping Christian. Much of my life I didn't even think about Jesus or consider that I was not doing what I was supposed to be doing. And I never thought much about hell. I didn't know if it existed or not. At certain times in my life, I considered myself to be an atheist. I followed the New Age movement quite a lot, and much of my work was considered New Age. But now I'm seeing how the dark forces have infiltrated everything on this planet in order to control and manipulate as many souls as possible to their side. I believe that many people following the New Age are being completely deceived. They think that everything is love and light. They don't believe there is evil and think nothing bad will befall them. Well, how do you explain Christians being beheaded because of their belief? Is that not evil? Is sacrificing innocent children for the dark ones to drink their blood not evil? Is poisoning our water and food on the entire planet not evil? The list of atrocities goes on and on. We have all been victims here, but the time is coming for us to awaken and not be victims any longer. Going through 4D is the hardest part of this journey. This is when the darkness will prevail and will be the most encompassing. This is also the time in which the dark ones will be able to influence people the most and lure them to the dark path. Many will go unknowingly, simply by living their lives and being unaware. They are asleep to the reality of this horror. If one is aligned with God, Jesus, and the light forces, one can be guided through the maze ahead and cloaked and protected. In my work, I've seen clients come into direct contact with Jesus, along with their angels, guides, and their star family. They are not separate. They are all part of the same team. I've seen the Galactic Council many times, and the various beings that meet concerning the well-being of Earth and its inhabitants. I know this sounds fantastic, but this is more real to me than what I see with my 3D eyes. The more I do this work, the more I'm confirmed in what I see and experience, and the closer I come to God and Jesus on a very personal level. They are here, and we can contact them. They want us to reach out. Until we do, they remain in the background. The division of the planet is coming. We can see it happening. When the time comes to make the choice, which will you make? Consider this. By not making a choice, you have chosen the lower path by default, the one that most people will go on. Is that what you really want? And could Jesus' descent into hell and rescue in the saints be his coming to rescue us as we move through the fourth dimension? And I wrote that article on May 13th of 2016 this year. And I just put it in the book at the end as a follow-up, kind of as a wrap-up, and as where we're at right now with this period and with what's going on. And I've also seen other things in some of the sessions. I saw in one session, I was actually pretty much already on 5D, and I was looking down at 4D and 3D. Is moving through. It was actually Earth splitting. It was the splitting and moving up, and in the split, I saw like this neon green sea underneath, neon green light, and it was just a sea of arms of people reaching up, and I could hear them crying out and calling for help, calling to be rescued. And me and my client, we were both up there in 5D and just reaching down and just yanking them up. We were just pulling them out, as many as we could, and before it was too late. And everything was splitting off, and it was almost too late. And we were just pulling out as many people as we could, and as we pulled them up, they had shrapnel through them, they had bullets, they were not well at all. They were like nearly dead, and just pulling them up to try and rescue as many as we could. And this is how I feel, and I feel an urgency. I know a lot of people feel an urgency, but my message is don't go crazy with feeling the urgency and feeling like you have to go out and do a bunch of stuff. And what I'm finding is a lot of people, especially who are kind of in the New Age movement, they don't really realize how they're being controlled. They think they're seeing the truth, but there's a lot of misinformation out there, and the dark side has infiltrated everywhere. And it's like the dark side will give you 90% truth and 10% untruth, and then you have to filter it through. And a lot of people are being deceived. And the truth and going within and finding contact with the divine is very simple. And you don't have to follow a bunch of rituals. You don't have to follow other people. You don't have to have, 10 steps to do it. I mean, you just sit down and close your eyes and take a deep breath and ask for God and Jesus to be there. And if you do it long enough, they will. I mean, that's how it started with me. It was a few years ago. I just started asking God and Jesus. I said, Jesus, if you're real, I want to know. I want to know if you're real. And, I'd been channeling angels and my guides for a long time and the Arcturians for a long time and had a lot, and I'd been actually talking to God for a long time, but I hadn't really made contact with Jesus, and that was kind of the missing link for me, and I just started, just talking. That was my prayer out loud, just talking and saying, if you're real, I want contact. And I got contact several times, on several different occasions. I've seen him in my mind's eye. He's spoken to me, and I know he's with me, and he comes through in almost all of my sessions with people. He's almost always standing right on my left side when I'm working on the implant removal, almost all the time now. In fact, I'd say 100% now. And because I've evolved with this work, and I wasn't asking at the beginning, I was just saying, well, I'm going to do implant removals, and then I realized that we needed protection as we go and do this stuff, and then I asked for more protection and more guidance, and then Jesus just started coming in and just being there in all the sessions. And so that's how I work, and it's dark, and it's going to get darker, and I'm going to do another show, or a couple of shows talking about why people should not get their chakras removed. I've gotten specific information in on this from God. I've gotten a couple of different messages in now, and but it's too long to go into here. I don't want to mix that with my Ascension messages too much, but this is another chakra removal or chakra unification or blocking or whatever you want to call it, is another manipulation by the dark side to get people to loosen their hold on their 3D bodies, and eventually their soul will be trapped. And it's satanic. It is satanic. And people who don't think that there's dark and evil out there, I mean, we're under attack all the time. All of us are under attack. Every single one of us are under attack. People don't realize how they're under attack. They might have pains. They might have migraines, or they can't sleep, or they're afraid to turn the light out, or, they've got stomach problems. They got this. They've got that. They end up, they might develop cancer. They might develop God knows what. This is 99% of it is, stuff from stuck in the energetic field. I mean, we are energetic beings, and it all starts energetically is what I'm finding. And I also came to another realization recently that cancer is an interdimensional disease. It comes from another dimension is what I've seen. So I'm going to have to do another show on that. And I've seen that a couple of different ways. And so it can be healed, but it comes from another dimension, and also from emotional stuff that's stuck in the energy body, and then it materializes. It just materializes in there. It gets stuck in there and materializes. So I didn't have any live callers, mainly because I don't have a set time when I come on yet. I'm hoping to decide on a time when I'll be broadcasting. I just haven't come to a set time yet. So I hope everyone has a safe weekend. And, another thing I'm going to be talking about a lot is spiritual warfare, especially coming into October and Halloween. And I probably would do a whole nother show just talking about my views on Halloween and this time period, and why it is dark. And I do not like Halloween. I feel like it's a time when the demons are let loose to do whatever they want. And it's also a huge time of satanic ritual abuse and sacrifice and stuff. And if you do a little research on that, you'll see that even if you think you're just having fun dressing up in a costume and going to a party, it's just all in good fun. Well, let's all go play. You don't realize that you're feeding the energy. You're feeding that demonic energy. And that's my beliefs on that. But I'm going to do another show on that. So that's my show for today. And again, my website is margoshealingcorner.com. I'm a hypnotist, holistic life coach, spiritual healer, and I also get people in touch with their star family. I can do past life regression, accessing the library of the subconscious mind, and restoring your divine connection, dealing with emotional issues, behavior changes, all different kinds of things. But my main perspective right now is getting people unplugged from the matrix and unplugged from their belief reality that's holding them in the delusion of this world, which is not real, and getting you ready to ascend. So that's my show for today. And margoshealingcorner.com, and my YouTube channel is Margo's Healing Corner. Take care, and God bless. Until next time.